right, guys, Sweetknives here again, coming to you. And if you haven't been to the channel, this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. You just are in for a treat. We're going to take this old crummy knife here I picked up at a pawn shop, and we are going to make it into one fine specimen. Look at that. Someone had this before me. They beat the living piss out of it. It's dull as a rock. I mean, literally, it just slides across my thumbnail like that, just about the same as on this side's actually sharper. It's catching a little bit. This is dull, just dull, dull, dull. You know, neat thing about this, I picked it up. It had a price of $14 on the price tag. And I told the guy, hey, that looks kind of cool. And he said, I'll tell you what, it's yours for $10. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, $10. And I said, all right, that sounds pretty good. Buck Knives, made in the USA. This is model number 722. I like the color orange. This is aluminum right here. And it just fits and feels nice. I always kind of wanted one like this. I don't have one like this. The guy at the pawn store had another one for $22, 22 or 24, and it had a silver handle, and it didn't have these serrations. And I thought, well, should I spend that much? And I didn't want to. But when he said $10 for this one, I'm like, well, how can I pass that up? So that's usually what happens in a lot of these cases, guys. People use these knives. You can see that's just been, you know, beat to hell over the years. Some guy had this, and he just, you know, it was probably an everyday carry knife. I mean, literally an everyday carry knife. And that's what happens when, you know, when you carry these knives, you use them and they get dull. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind away these serrations a little bit. I'm going to see if I can do that on the wicked edge. I'm going to do a little bit of magic, and we're going to get this looking really good. And it'll be one hell of a knife. I want to show you something too. This is kind of neat, so I'm going to just show you this. So from the same exact pawn shop a few years back, I picked up this Gerber Easy Out. And look at this. They're about the same size. Guys, check out this other video for the full review on this one. It's right up there. But I want to show you something. So when you open this up, it's got serrations like that. And when I open this one up, look at, they're almost the identical knife, although this has a plastic type handle. But look what I did to the edge on this other one. I mirrored it on the wicked edge. That's what I'm going for on this one. This one also had serrations. So it's kind of like another episode where, you know, we're going to take something that was really cheap. Guys were ready to throw it away. We're going to make it into a great, great knife. So stay tuned. It might not look like much now, but watch this. All right, guys, first things first, we do got to test the sharpness. So let's take it on the best tester. We're going to tear it out one more time. I don't even know if it can cut through this string. This might be one of the highest readings I've ever gotten. So hopefully I don't break the whole scale. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1067. Holy crap. 1067. Severely rolled edge. Yes, it is severe. We want to get this puppy way the hell down here to a double edge at least, or, you know, right around 100. I'd be happy with 100. This is terrible. So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna do that. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I wanted to give you an idea of what we're going to do here. So we're starting off with 50 diamonds and then 80. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the knife like this. I'm going to put it in the wicked edge, and I'm going to try this. And I'm going to take this stone like this, and I'm just going to grind those serrations off with 50. Once we get that set, we'll flip it. Then we're going to move on to like probably still stick with 50 or 80 to grind that angle to like, I don't know, 16 or 15 degrees. And then we're going to go through the whole sequence. So I got 100 grit, 200 grit, 400 grit, 600. I got 800, 1,000. I got 1,500. Then I got 2,200 and 3,000. And these are diamonds, by the way. Really fine diamonds. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. These are really fine grain diamonds. And then after that, we got the micro films. So these are diamond lapping films right here. And sorry about the focus there. And they're mounted onto a glass plating. And this is actually 3 on this side and 6 on this side. I actually got them when I put them on. I mixed it up, so I had to write. I just wrote on here what it is, but this is actually finer than this side, even though it says that. So, anyways, that's what happens, and then this is what puts that mirror polish on the edge. Once you hit those, it really does turn to a mirror. So I wanted to give you guys a look at the sequence. We're going to take this knife from start to finish, starting right now. As we have it mounted now on the wicked edge, and I'm going to just try to grind away a little bit on this edge. We'll see how well that works. Look how messed up it is. So I'm taking 50 grit. A lot of times you can do this a little bit faster if you put it on a grinder, but I'm just going to go like this and just see how this works. This is 50, literally 50 grit. This is gonna take a little while. Well, it's working though. Definitely gonna dull the knife. That's working pretty good, actually. Got to be careful. I like how that's working so far. There's one spot right there that's a little bit high, but I'm gonna just move it around a little. Not bad, not bad. That's looking really close to where I want it. I'll just do a little more. Think it's dull? No. Yeah, that's looking great. That's really, really close. A little more. This way you don't take off too much stuff. You just take off exactly what you kind of need. It's working good. And I haven't had to use the 50 grit too often, so I'm glad I get to finally use it. That's looking nice. I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, it's almost perfect. I'm gonna just go a hair more, just a hair. You wouldn't even know. Once we finish this next few sequences, you wouldn't even know that we were on it, that we had serrations. God, that's looking great. Almost where I want it. Just smoothing out the whole thing. The more you can do that, the better. You should almost do this with every knife before you start. Just grind it a couple times like this, just to make sure you get rid of that crappy edge. Well, I don't know how much better it's gonna get. So that might be it. All right, I'm gonna pause it. We're gonna readjust and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, bear with me. This is gonna take a little bit of time to try to figure out exactly where everything lines up. We're gonna just start by putting this marker. I wanna just get an idea where I'm hitting. I got these things on the bottom set at about 16 degrees, so we'll see. We're gonna see where this hits. I'm gonna start with, I wanna start with like 800. Just, I'm not to grind the material, but to see where it's hitting. When you start with a higher number, it gives you a little bit better idea where you're hitting. So let's just see. And right where it takes off the metal is a good idea. All right. Not bad. Are they about equal on each side? That's the key. And they look close. What I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna move them back 1 degree. We're gonna try 15. So sorry, I know this is kind of tedious, but you want to get it. You want to get this part right. So this might take a. We're eyeballing it. This is called the eyeball. Let's see where 800 hits now. It's like a square on that tip. We're gonna just start grinding. I think that's about right. So let's just see what happens. Listen to that. Jesus Christ, huh? All right, I think that's close. Let's try the other side. It's gonna be a lot of grinding for a little bit. Yeah, that's gonna be good. As I look, I can see that this side is not taking off quite as much as the other side. So that means I need to adjust this a hair. Let's do a little more and just see. Yep, it needs to go just a little more, maybe 1 whole degree more. Okay, this is 14 there. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I like that better. It's a lot closer. Okay, we're gonna have to just grind for a little while. Okay, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna move this in even more. 1 more degree. I want to get this a little, I want the edge to be a little bit thicker. Can't go too much though, otherwise you start to hit. Might not be able to do that. Okay, well, that's about as low as we can go on this knife because I don't have the other deal that lifts it up a little bit more. So we'll have to leave it at this angle for this one, which is fine. Because if we go any more, we're gonna hit. And we don't want to hit. It's really close. Jesus, that does grind the stuff right off. I'm just gonna do a little bit more on this side. Keep those nuts tight. We really had dulled it before, so that's the reason why we gotta do this so much. You can see when I do that, where that cloth comes up, there's a burr on the other side. So that's a good sign. We're getting a burr on that other side, almost everywhere along the blade. We're gonna do that one more time on both sides with the 50. That's why taking the belt grinder is a little bit faster. But I mean, it is what it is. You can see we're getting good fibers in a lot of places. I think we're okay now to switch to 80 grit on the other side. So now we'll move to 80. Coming along. I like what I got. Now we're moving on. Finally done with those ones. Check your deal on the bottom, make sure it's tight. Now we're moving to 100 and 200. Now it's going to go a little faster, hopefully. You want to make sure none of this stuff gets contaminated. That's why I'm using all these rags. Try to make it clean, and then I'll vacuum all this stuff a little bit later. So now we're on to 100. You don't want to roll this on the tip, otherwise you'll dull that immensely. And now I'm going to just flip them. Get the other side of the hundreds, ensure these things are tightened on the bottom, the little screw things. And then I'm going to wipe it with a little rag, and then we're going to go to town doing like, I don't know, 50, 100 strokes, something like that. So let's see how this goes. Amazing how rough that is. 100 grit. But it's looking a lot better. I really like how that's looking. See if I can adjust that light a little bit. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Anyway. I'm gonna go a hair more. Real lightly now. This is really lightly 100. You can tell right up there is a little duller. Right there, it's really sharp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work that tip a lot more. So we're just gonna spend time on the tip, trying not to screw it up. I put my finger, I rest my whole hand like this onto the unit, and then I put my finger right there just to stabilize it. And we're just gonna go up and down on this tip a little bit. Because if we don't get it right now, we ain't gonna get it right. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side now. better. Sometimes this is where, if you have a magnifying glass, get the magnifying glass out and start looking at that and see how much more material is right across the top. I don't have my magnifying glass with me right at the moment, but that's what I would do, is I'd see how thick that is right at the very top, going like across it like this. You know, it looks like it's going to be just fine, but if you really want to get particular, that's what you got to do. Okay, for the sake of this video, we're going to move on to 200, knowing that maybe we could have got it here better on the tip, but you know, what can you do? Check the screws on the bottom. Let's go to 200 now. I'll keep working that tip a little more with some of these grits, even though they're not going to take off a lot. It'll still help, just knowing that we got to focus on that tip. Now, we got to keep cleaning. We don't want everything to get contaminated. You can see it just builds up everywhere. And I don't like that. Check that now. Okay, we're going to keep moving along here. Oh my God, my battery's dying. See how sharp it is now. Oh yeah, it's sharper. Definitely better. We're gonna pause it. I'm still on a 200, but I gotta charge the battery. Otherwise we're gonna lose it all. So hang in with me. We're gonna just charge this battery. Guys, I got the battery all charged. We're just still on 200. We're gonna keep going a little bit more, real lightly. Knife is looking really good so far. It's taken a while to get to this point, but that's what you gotta do. Okay, just a little bit more. It's getting there. I'm pretty happy. I think we're going to move on to 400. The thing is, if you really wanted, you could literally spend, hours and hours and hours on these different stages till you get it to exactly how you want. So for our sake, we gotta keep moving along. All right, let's go to 400 and 600. And we're just gonna work this. Just keep working it. I can tell this spot right here where those serrades were is a little rough. We might not ever get that perfect because it's a little rough, but we'll do the best we can. Wipe it a little bit. New rig. Gotta use all these new rigs. A little bit more right in there, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna keep going. Now we're gonna do like a bunch of strokes on that side. I just want to clean these off. Now we're gonna just, we're still using 400, but we're gonna go like this now. If you have stubborn scratches, go like this, just real lightly. That seems to help. Okay, here we go. This is another way you can focus on the tip. Just start about halfway along the blade and then work it back in here. We'll do like 50 more. Whew. That completes the 400 grit stage. You know, in order to do something right, you got to just take your time. Just take your time. Here we go. We're going to hesitate none and move straight to 600. Here we go. Let's wipe those. Okay, here we go. Okay, dokie, that completes that. Think it's sharp? Oh yeah. Damn sharp. Be careful if you ever do that. All right, here we go. We got 800 and 1,000. Now it starts getting sick. Ultra sick sharp. I wonder how that looks on camera. Hopefully good. Yeah, it's really looking refined. Good. All right, 800s. Just do this just to get the feel. You really need to develop almost what they call muscle memory. Okay, let's wipe this a little bit. I'm going to take the other side of that and just clean the 800 a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to start the strokes. Go through these rigs quick. You're doing it right. All right. Really close here. Okay, now we're moving to 1,000. Clean them one more time. We're getting there. Try to clean these as much as you can. Here we go. Dang, I think that's getting really good. Okay, let's move on to 1500. This is where it starts to get fun. Can't believe how smooth that feels now. Remember when we started with 50? That was terrible. Damn, it's starting to get that mirror. Let's make sure these stay tight. I can't believe how good that feels. All right, we're moving on to the final diamond stones, which are 2200 and 3000. And let's see how this goes. All right, we're really close to moving on. Damn, that's looking good. In fact, I think I'm gonna move on to 3000. My last diamond. Really lightly. Let's wipe these. We'll wipe them. Now we'll go back and forth. 3000. Okay, now we're moving on to the diamond lapping films. The finale. All right. What do we got here? Six micron, 6 and 3. This is where you start to see the mirror right away. All right, here we go. I'm gonna tighten these up again. Not pushing hard. Okay, let's move on to the next ones, which are 3. Now you got to be careful. You got to be really careful when you're looking at that. I don't know how that's showing up. Hopefully good. It's so zoomed in, it looks like it, you know, you're never going to get every scratch out, but this is, it's really hard to do on camera too. God, I think it looks damn good. Okay, we'll move on to the final one. In my case, it's 1.5 microns. I do have lower ones, but they're not on these stones. So we'll try 1.5 to finish her off. God, that looking really, really, really good. Especially considering where we started from. Okay, guys, that's about it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know how that shows up on there. Pretty good. I'm going to readjust and we'll test the sharpness here in just a second. Thanks. All right, guys, check this out. This is the beautiful edge. Look at that. It's like a mirror polish. Really got a lot better than it ever was. That's the power of these sharpening systems that do an ultra precision. Is it perfect? No. There's a few spots where I could have got a little bit better, but let's just see how sharp we got it. Take this bad boy, we'll turn it on, we'll tear it ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 19. Holy crap. I mean, you can't get much sharper than that. I mean, you just can't. You could have got the scratch patterns out a little bit, but it would have... let's see if we can read the text. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Double edge razor. You always see people do that, and you wonder what the hell. But you can. Anyway, that's below 50 a double edge razor, so it's ultra sharp. Thanks, guys, for checking it out. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that. We took this knife that was literally $10 that I got at a pawn store. It does have a bunch of scratches on the blade from just use before, but what a great knife. That's the power and the things you can do with these sharpening systems. So check out some of my other videos, and have a safe, happy rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.